friends, welcome to our channel. So in the previous sessions we have seen the one-dimensional arrays, and in this session let us have a look on two-dimensional arrays. So as we discussed in the previous session, that one-dimensional array will be having only one subscript, and here we are using the two-dimensional array so that we must have the two subscripts. So mainly this two-dimensional array is used where the data is represented in a row and column order. That means if the data is in a tabular format, then we can use this two-dimensional arrays. So as we know that an array is a collection of elements with similar data type. So here also the two-dimensional array is also the collection of elements which are of same data type. Here the difference between one-dimensional and two-dimensional is subscripts. So mainly this one, as I said, that this two-dimensional array is used to represent the tabular data. So one subscript represents the row and another subscript represents the column. So here two-dimensional array. So here we have two subscripts. So as we know that subscript is this one. So here we have two subscripts. And next, these are used to represent tabular data. Where data is represented in table, those data can be represented using two-dimensional. So one subscript represents the rows and second subscript represents the column. So here one subscript represents the rows and another subscript represents the columns, and the total number of elements that the two-dimensional array stores are rows and into columns. So this multiplication will give the maximum number of elements that the two-dimensional array can be stored. And whatever the rules we have followed for one-dimensional array, the same rules to be followed by the two-dimensional array also. So we have to give a name for a two-dimensional array also. Similarly, we can represent it as some array name, row size, column size. So we have to mention both row size and column size. So here also the index starts from 0. This also the index starts from 0. So here we have to mention two sizes, that is, one is for row, another one is for column. So let us see here. Syntax for declaring a two-dimensional array: write down the data type followed by array name with row size and column size. So we have to mention the row size and column size. So as in the one-dimensional array, we can give a maximum number, and then in the program we can read the required number of rows and required number of columns. So but in the declaration we have to give the number, the size of row and column. See here example. So if we the best application or the best example for this two-dimensional array is matrix data. So as a matrix can be represented as rows and columns. So matrix A with rows 3 and columns 3. So this is a name of a variable A which is having the row size 3 and column size 3. Here the row size 3 means the index value starts from 0, 0 to 2. 0, 1, 2. Here also the column size is 0 to 2. 0, 1 and 2. 0th row, first row, second row. 0th column, first column, and second column. And now question is how the elements will be stored in the array. So as in the one dimensional array, always the elements store in index 0 and immediately then 1, immediately then 2, 3, 4 and so on n. But in this two dimensional array there is a two sizes, that is one is row and another one is column. So how the elements are stored in the two dimensional array. So here the elements are stored in row column order, row wise order. So the first row will be assigned and then the second row will be assigned and then the third row will be assigned and followed by the nth row will be assigned. So that means the first value will be assigned to 0th row, 0th column, next 0th row, first column, 0th row, second column. Then first row, 0th column, first row, first column, first row, second column. Second row, 0th column, second row, first column, second row, second column. So this is the order how the elements are stored in two-dimensional array of size 3 by 3. So row wise it will be assigned. So after finishing the first row, the second row will be assigned. See. So after finishing the first row, then the second row will be started. And after finishing the second row, the third row will be started. So the first element is this one. Second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. So as I have said earlier, the total number of elements that the array can store is rows into size. Here the rows are 3 and the columns are 3. So rows into columns gives the maximum number of elements that the two-dimensional array can store. So in this array A, it can store a maximum of 3 into 3, that means 9 elements. So these are the 9 elements. So first row will be created, that means row elements will be assigned, then second row, then third row. Here also the index always starts from 0. Now, so after declaration, we have to see the initialization. How to initialize a variable array. So, as in the one-dimensional array, similar is equal to, by using an assignment operator, we can assign the values. That means that we call it as a compile time initialization. And let us see the compile time initialization. Compile time initialization. Int a of 3 is equal to, open the curly braces, the same thing we have done in the one-dimensional array. Open again another curly braces, write down the elements of first row. So here there are 3 rows and 3 columns. So 3 rows and 3 columns. So each row will be having 3 columns, that means 3 elements. We can assign 2, 3. So this second curly braces represents the row elements, comma, now second row, comma, third row. This implies this belongs to 0th row, this belongs to first row, this belongs to second row. So here the row is 0, 1 and 2, 3 rows, and in the 0th row, this one is a 0th element, 0th column, first column, second column. Again 0th column, first column, second column. Again 0th column, first column, second column. So this represents the row and this represents the column. So 3 rows, and here also 3 columns, that is 0, 1 and 2. 0th row, first row, second row. 0th row, 0th column. 0th row, first column. 0th row, second column. First row, 0th column. First row, first column, and first row, second column. Similarly, second row, 0th column. Second row, first column, and second row, second column. Now this can be represented in a matrix as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So this matrix can be assigned in this way. First row, second row and the third row. And similarly, if you assign a single value or a single element in an array, all the elements in the remaining array will be initialized to 0. So if you declared and if you are failed to initialize, or if you are not initialized, if you doesn't initialize any value to that array elements, then by default there will be garbage values for all the elements. If you initialized at least one element among these 9 elements, automatically the remaining 8 elements will be 0. And this can also be written as 3 is equal to 1, 2, so simply we can write this 0. So if this implies this is the first element initialized to 0, automatically all the remaining elements will be initialized to 0. And if it is 1, it will be initialized to 1 first element, and all the remaining 8 elements will be initialized to zeros. And also we can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So this is the same statement of this one. So we are not separating the row items, we are directly writing all the elements. So automatically the compiler will treat the first element as 0, 0, second element as 0, 1, third element as 0, 2, as the 2 is the last element of column. Again, the next one is first row, 0th column, first row, first column, and first row, second column. Again, the next one, it will treat it as the second row, 0th column, second row, first column, and second row, second column. So these are the many alternatives how the array can be initialized at the compile time. So now let us have a look how to initialize an array in the runtime. So any variable that can be initialized at the runtime by using only one function, that is scanf function. So as we have seen that printf and scanf functions in the earlier sessions. So if you are having any doubts, once refer that session. So if you want to initialize any variable in the runtime, then automatically we have to use the scanf function. So for reading all the elements into the two-dimensional array, obviously we have to use the scanf. We have to repeatedly execute the scanf. So that means we have to use the loop statements, that means iterative statements for reading all the elements into an array. For I is equal to 0, I less than row size I plus plus. So this statement for row. Next, for j is equal to 0, j less than column size j plus plus. So this statement is for column. Scanf %d ampersand a of I j. So this is a simple logic for reading all the elements into two-dimensional array. So first loop is for row and the second loop is for column. So this means first I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to row size. Until this condition fails, the loop will be repeated. The control will repeatedly execute the same set of statements. So inside this for loop, again we are writing the for loop, j is equal to 0, j less than column size. So that means whenever this condition fails, then the control will go out from this loop and I will be incremented. That means for I is equal to 1, j will be incremented. J is equal to 0 will be assigned, j is equal to 1 will be assigned, j is equal to 2 will be assigned. If row size is 3 and column size is 3. When j is equal to 3 fails, so comes out from the loop, I will be incremented. So I is equal to 1. Again, j is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, j is equal to 2, j is equal to 3, it again fails. Again the control comes out from the loop, I is equal to 2, j is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, j is equal to 2, j is equal to 3, again here fails. The control comes out from the loop, now I is equal to 3, it also fails. So it stops reading the values into two-dimensional array. So in this way we can read all the elements of two-dimensional array. Now the question is how to print all the values of two-dimensional array. Simply the same logic will be implemented. Instead of using the scanf, write the printf so that all the elements will be displayed. Erase the ampersand one. So percentage d a of ij. So every element will be printed. So 0, first 0 0 0 1 0 2. Next I will be incremented 1 0 1 1 1 2. Next j will be incremented 0 1 I will be again incremented 2 0 2 1 2 2. So like this way we can read the elements into two-dimensional array and we can print the elements of two-dimensional array. So for this we have to use two different loops. So nested loops. This is called a nested loop. We are writing loop inside the loop, another loop. So first outer loop is for row, mentioning the row, and the inner loop mentions the column. Hope you understood this, and let us write a program to read and write the elements of two-dimensional array. Main function. Now declare a array. So int a of some 10, 20, or simply take it as 3 and 3, 3 by 3. Right? Now for I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Again for j is equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Scanf percentage d ampersand a of I and j. So this is the reading. Now again print the same elements. For I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Printf percentage d and a of I j. So this is a simple program for reading and writing the elements of two-dimensional array. So this process is for reading and this process is for displaying. display. So this implements row, this implements column. Here also this implements row, this implements column. So hope you understood this simple concept two-dimensional array. So where these two-dimensional arrays will be used. So whatever the tabular data we want to represent, then we can go for this two-dimensional array. The example, best example is a matrix representations. So all the matrix applications we can use this two-dimensional array for performing the matrix addition, matrix subtraction, and matrix multiplication, and transposing the matrix. So for everything we can use this two-dimensional arrays concept. Hope you understood this session, and if you like my videos, do subscribe to my channel and share my videos with your friends. And if you are having any doubts regarding our C language, please feel free to post your doubts in the comment section. So definitely I will try to clarify your doubts regularly. And thanks for listening my sessions, and thank you.